Hello everyone, I hope you guys are doing well. So today's reading is going to be about your future partner. We're going to get whatever information we can get on their personality, their energy, their presence, any hints about their looks, their job, and some messages from that person's higher self, what they would say to you, as well as perhaps some timing towards the end of when it's likely you will meet this person if you do not already know them. Thanks to all my new subscribers and returning subscribers. You guys are awesome. And if you'd like a private reading, my information is in the description box. You can check me out on keen.com or message me, email me. So let's pull some cards for you to choose from. All right. Group 1. Card will 10 of Pentacles will represent group 1. And group 2, the Lovers, represents group 2. And group 3, the Wheel of Fortune, represents group 3. So go with the card that you're most drawn to. Just take what resonates and forget what doesn't. If it doesn't apply, let it fly. It's a general reading. You can choose one group, more than one. Okay, we're going to get started with group 1. Welcome, group 1. The card that you chose is the 10 of Pentacles. Excuse me. You also have the 8 of Swords and the 9 of Cups. So before we get started asking specifically about this person, what are these 3 cards talking about or saying to you, group 1? People feeling like others or life circumstances have them sort of trapped or holding them back from achieving what they really want and being very happy. It's like you're dreaming of something long-term and lasting, but you've been trapped in your own head about it. Like maybe you think it could never happen, and yet deep down you are starting to believe that you do deserve to have what you want with that 9 of Cups. So despite maybe being this 8 of Swords energy and having doubts, feeling restricted or all in your head, deep down you still have that hope. So basically it's your energy check-in. Like you're done with the doubts. You're ready to, do what you want, to have no shame about it, to not shrink yourself. This is a mindset shift that's happening for you. It's what's calling in this person that we're about to look at. Okay, so tell us about your future partner. Who is this future partner coming in for you, group 1? We have the Page of Cups. We have the 7 of Pentacles. And we have the 7 of Swords. And this person is very sweet, okay? Very sweet side to them, emotionally open. They're coming in maybe a little awkward, but a little bit definitely, open to love. Maybe shy, curious. It's like this person's been waiting for the right time to connect. But this is also somebody like, even if you knew them, it's doubtful that you would know who I'm talking about or know that they really care about you, because they are, they don't always show their full hand at first, and they've been burned before, so they're, a little sneaky about how they move because they've been hurt before. But they could be a little on the artistic side, definitely have a sensitivity to them. They're not somebody that comes on really strong, or is like really like Gaston from Beauty and the Beast or anything. You know what I mean? Not a lot of boldness or bravado to them. Instead, this feels more like patient, kind of wondering, maybe a bit like you in the sense of wondering if their love will ever pay off, if they're ever going to be rewarded for the amount of effort or patience that they put into things, and they're looking for something real. But again, this is not something that they're going to like say immediately. They could be shy about expressing this. They do protect their heart. It's not because of straight up deception, though. It is because it's like more of a defense. They do, you know, guard their feelings deeply, and the feelings here with the Two of Cups at the bottom of the deck are or will be mutual for sure. They will come across a little reserved, a little quirky at first maybe, but under that, they're just emotionally sincere. They're ready. They're, you know, they're done waiting as well. They're hoping that the next person that they fall in love with is the one that, you know, they don't have to hide from, that they can actually somebody that they can actually let in. Okay. So let's look at first we'll look at what they might look like. We have the Nine of Pentacles, the Page of Swords, and the Five of Wands. This person, they're going to look like, they're going to look polished, they're going to look put together. They are going to also have like a curious mind and an observant nature. Like they're always watching the world around them to learn. They're just observant. And there is a little edge, a little fieriness to them with this Five of Wands energy. I was picking up on perhaps this person exercises or is into activities, sports, being physical, things like that. With that Five of Wands energy, they could be athletic or have, I'm getting intense eyes. This person could have intense eyes as well. But with the Nine of Pentacles, it's usually somebody that looks like they have money, looks like they're doing well for themselves financially, looks like they have it together. They look polished, stylish, well-groomed. Maybe somebody that, even if they don't have a ton of money, they still like dress with intention. They have a very like self-sufficient, graceful look to them, and perhaps like again some intensity to their features, sharp features, but they do have like an underlying youthful energy. We've already seen two pages come out, which is a youthful energy. They could be younger, just or youthful, and there's somebody that thinks before they speak. They have intelligence in their eyes, wittiness in their eyes. Are more to them than just a pretty face or anything like that. And again, there's some sort of intensity to their physical appearance. So it could be that this person is quite physically active or maybe lean, muscular, or athletic build. But at the very least, you know, they move. I'm just kidding. There's like a song going through my head that's kind of distracting. I like the way you move. They move, and you might like the way this person moves. I don't know. Take that how you will, but they come off maybe a little competitive or fiery, even in their body language and how they carry themselves. But this person does look like they have their stuff together and that they're attractive. They're not somebody that tries too hard, though. They're sharp. They're alert. There's some fiery energy here, like I said. Dress well, notice everything, carry sort of this physical energy that feels like they could jump into action at any moment. So even if they're kind of complacent and just chilling, or, you know, it looks like they're being reserved, or, you know, perhaps they are in that moment, but just like that, you know, they can move. So, interesting. Let's look into this person's line of work. What's their job or field of work? We've got the Five of Pentacles. We have the Magician in reverse and the Eight of Wands. not for everybody, but some of you, especially if you're here for a feminine type, is having a hard time getting their wedding planning business off the ground. But generally speaking, this person is somebody who has felt undervalued, left out in the cold, doubted their own potential, or really has had a hard time finding their true path of what they want to do, of making a go of things. But I see them getting out of this phase, and things, stop being stuck. They get unstuck. 8 of Wands energy is about moving, forward quickly, move fast. Possibly they work in the travel industry, technology, or some sort of communication related work. It's like this person could have really started off, coming from a really rough background, and they know what it is to be broke too. Or even if they had money, there was a cost or a price with that came at the price of having like happiness or strong emotional bonds. So anyway, they're coming from that, and they have so much capability. It's like they just didn't believe in themselves, or they just didn't have the right support or sort of motivations, or the right resources to make that happen. But something happens here though that moves them forward quite quickly on their path, and it feels fast, like race car driver for an odd few, maybe travel, online communication, fast moving environments, just quick. So some of them could be in entertainment, dancers as well. I'm getting to with that physical energy we saw earlier, or do that as a hobby, but somehow it's part of what they do, and it's coming through. So this future partner of yours is a self-made type of person, entrepreneurial type person. They know what it feels like to go without, to be on the outside looking in, and they are entering this new season of momentum where things move forward, and their work could involve, like I said, something in technology or fast-paced media, logistics, coaching, any number of those things. So let's get a message from this person's. You know what? Before I do that, and hit the like button if you like the reading. It does help to support the channel and keep it going. I'm going to get some cards from my traits deck. And this part, is just more for fun. But who knows, it could give you a hint as to who this person is or validate something. So from the traits deck, we have that your future partner, group 1, is going to be secretive. We saw that with that 7 of Swords earlier. Scorpio, you can't make that up. They're known for being secretive, right? And focused, also a scorpionic trait, okay? So those 3 wanted to come out. And big bucks, no whammies. No whammies. Give us one more thing that the viewer really needs to know about this person. Spacey, dreamy. Okay, interesting. So that's what we got there. Sometimes that deck will come out with like actual physical characteristics or features, but in this case it's just kind of giving you more information about, well, in this case we got their zodiac sign and some other traits about themselves. So how can we take that in context with the rest of the reading? Just somebody that really does protect, their inner world, and somebody that doesn't open up early or easily or early for that matter. So hopefully you're not waiting for someone to spill the beans. I do see like this person can be a bit shy, but they initially, in the initial stages, they're going to make that romantic or affectionate gesture to let you know that they're interested in, but they're going to do it awkwardly. And part of the reason why they do it awkwardly is they don't have a lot of practice at opening up. But this is just a cautious person, intuitive, intense. That goes with the, eyes that I picked up on earlier, having intense eyes, being observant. They probably do have that idealistic streak, which has made it kind of hard and contributed to them having a little bit of difficulty finding their way in life. But this is the type of person also, though, that once they are in, they are really in. Okay? I feel like this person does have this really strong water in their chart and a real strong ability to become like a gentleman or a gentle lady. Is that a word? You know what I mean. A lady or a gentleman, okay? And it's just that they've been through things. They've doubted themselves. I think that's been a real challenge for them. But that momentum is building, and this love with you could be the space that really lights them on fire or motivates them, a place for them to really grow and thrive in a way that they didn't really believe existed anymore, or was kind of like afraid that maybe they were going to have to settle or something, and now they find you and realize that, you know, they can be themselves and be appreciated for who they are. So let's get a message from this person's higher self using the tarot cards before moving on to the next group. What would this person's higher self say to you if they had no filter? We have the Two of Wands. This person could live at a distance from you. Wherever they're at, though, they're not content. They want more. And something's missing. So that's just taking that card on face value. But what else do we have? We have the Four of Wands and the Seven of Cups. So what is this person's message to you with the Two of Wands, the Four of Wands, and the Seven of Cups? They are looking for commitment. They are looking for refuge, someplace where they belong. And they would basically be saying something to the effect that they have been stuck in a sort of comfort zone, looking out at the life that they could have, and imagining like a real connection with someone like you, maybe something much more stable, something that feels like home. But they do tend to get lost in their head, overwhelmed by their options, their fears, the what ifs, you know. They could have quite a lot of options. There's a restlessness with this person where they're at's just not it for them. You feel like, or you're going to feel like someplace safe for them to land. They can recognize this kind of sense of home with you. And they don't always trust their ability to make the right choices because they've made wrong choices in the past. Or that's what they feel. So they just want something real. They want stability. They want you. That, you know, this higher self is coming through to let you know that they're sorting through their illusions, their fears, their doubts, and they dream of what you could have together. They're just not always sure how to show that or how to reach out to people that they love or who they love. They're not always sure how to do that. And this is what I've got for you, Group 1. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate you guys. Please hit the like button, subscribe if you'd like to, and it does support the channel. If you guys would like to buy me a coffee, the link to donate to the channel is down below, as well as reach out to me if I didn't already say. All that information is in the description box. You can stick around. Otherwise, I'll talk to you next time. Welcome, Group 2. So the card that you got was the Lover's card. So what is the Lover's card telling us? Before we jump into deciphering who this next partner of yours is, let's figure out first what the cards can tell us now. For Group 2, we've got the Eight of Wands and the Nine of Swords. So going from left to right, we have the Lovers, the Eight of Wands, and the Nine of Swords. Wow. So basically, as you probably already know, with the Lover's energy that you chose, it's a strong soul level connection that's lining up for you. And it is coming in fast with this Eight of Wands, faster than you can imagine here. it could happen through unexpected communication. It could happen through travel, things we associate with this energy. But also because it happens so quickly, it's likely to trigger anxiety or mental overload when it actually hits. You know, it's that kind of thing. So people are wanting this love, but then it just happens so damn fast that it's like it freaks somebody out, freaks you out maybe. So it's not a fling. This is something, though, that does have a lot of chemistry, a lot of momentum behind it. And this, for that reason, it does bring up fear. So this next connection is intense, but it is mutual. And it doesn't just creep in. It comes in, it really races in, it bursts in. But while that might sound wonderful if you've been wanting a soulmate or wanting a relationship badly, and maybe you're tired of waiting, well, guess what? This is going to stir up something deep within you. It's going to impact you quite a bit. And I guess the main thing here is kind of like, don't close your heart with it, with the Page of Cups underneath. It's saying, you know, even though it might be intimidating, let your heart remain open. It's going to stir something deep within you, but don't mistake fear for a red flag. It doesn't automatically mean that it's a red flag. This is the kind of connection that wakes you up, is what it does. So let's look at who this person actually is. Who is Group 2's person? We have the Five of Wands, the Five of Swords, and the Justice. This is somebody that has been through quite a bit. They're complex, not gonna lie. And I'm getting some strong Libra energy, Libra moon perhaps, some Capricorn energy. Just throwing that out there for those that know about the signs. But and I'm distracted, I have to admit, because these are my cards. I created them. So I have my handsome men on here. I have my sly looking smug, gorgeous man that he is. And then I have Cary Grant over here being why is it the handsome one? It's the beautiful ones that always smash the picture, always, every time. Prince, okay? So I'm not saying that's what's going to happen here, but they are going to shake things up. And your person is complex, and they've had drama. They've either caused or received hurt, and probably both. And they've, you know, played this sort of survival mode in their relationships before. The good thing is that they are growing. They are learning to show up differently. And what they are after now is something honest, something balanced, and something real. It looks like, you know, they've had to fight to be heard. It looks like they have had to deal with competition. They could have felt like they always had to be on guard, putting up with pettiness, perhaps being sucked into petty sort of ego battles in the past, or maybe even presently when you meet this person, they're still going through some of this. They've, you know, they had to fight dirty to come out ahead, to, or just walk away from somebody who's doing that to them, to avoid being, you know, caught up in that, to avoid being damaged by that, or to avoid being vulnerable like that. And they're just trying to do better. They're trying to take accountability. This is somebody that, you know, wants to love and be loved in a way that feels fair, that doesn't feel like those old relationships. They are wanting to be in the Justice energy versus the Five of Wands and the Five of Swords. But we want to look at, to what extent was this person embodying the Five of Wands and the Five of Swords energy? Ooh, we have the Death card coming out. And the Four of Cups. And the Magician. Okay. Just a second here. All right, sorry about that, guys. I had to check into something. And also, this is taking me a little bit aback, but essentially this person, with this Five of Swords energy, like, and this Five of Wands energy, I'm just trying to figure out the best way to sum it up. It's kind of a tricky one. This person kind of was... Well, at the very least, they would shut down emotionally, miss opportunities, push love out. Now they're trying to create a place where they're choosing better for themselves. This is the energy of major transformation. I think this is kind of saying, like, this person was not a nice person in the past, basically. You know, based on what they have gone through and everything like that before. I suppose that's why this Lover's card is the way that it is in this particular deck. It's like she's holding him. He's kind of fell into her arms and tears and everything like that. Because this is about, you know, a major transformation where they realize that they were numb or dismissive of others in the past, and they're trying to reclaim their power, and they're trying to show up emotionally in a better place. Like they're truly leaving, you know, this version of themselves behind. The way that they used to handle conflict and a connection. It's not who they want to be anymore. And basically, I think the gist of that is, you know, that they used to shut down emotionally. However, I'm not really satisfied. I feel like this is really surface level. And I don't know if it's because of all the readings I do for people, you know, private clients, and how in-depth those readings get. And this is a general reading, so it's not going to be as in-depth because I'm reading for too many people at once. But, you know, they basically were not just around people in this energy. They were actually one of these people. And they really hit, like, an emotional turning point. This is not just someone who says that they've changed. They've actually been through it. And so they just want to create love from a place of clarity. They want to create love from a place of choice. But for somebody to come from for instance, that Five of Swords energy, that's a hurtful energy. What was the transformation triggered by? Like, what made them change? We got the Hierophant, we've got the Hanged One, and we've got the Ace of Pentacles. This is something that they have been focusing on diligently, working little by little to improve their lot in life. It could be through job or whatever they do was part of what helped them to change. But also they hit this sort of standstill where, you know, nothing could move forward with this Hanged Man. And they realized that, you know, they were out to lose something real. There's a shot at something genuine. They don't want to lose anything genuine anymore. But what is this Hierophant saying, since we've got Hierophant, the Hanged One, Ace of Pentacles? I just feel like this person was a product of their environment. This is what they were brought up around. This was their normal. And at some point, they ended up getting caught up to where they were the sacrificial lamb, or they were the ones that had to pay the price for, you know, the negativity of what they were going through, or, you know, being the scapegoat in the family unit or a situation that they were involved in that was unhealthy. And one of the good things about the Hanged One is it changes your perspective, and it makes you see things differently. And what they saw was a solid new beginning, a perfect path forward, something more grounded and healthy that they wanted. So that's what I feel like made this person stop and reflect and see the value of something more lasting, and planting a seed with someone, and having being more grounded in their values, as opposed to just doing what, you know, they've always done. So it's like a spiritual grow up as well, not just a physical grow up. And yeah, so basically had some sort of spiritual intervention here that kind of forced them to see things differently and see that, you know, what they want is a love that's steady, intentional, possibly even long-term and traditional. There is somebody that sticks to whatever they do, but they were just sticking to the wrong way of being in the past. And now it's like they are wanting to stick to a new way of being that's fair and much better than it was in the past. So let's find out about how this person looks. For that, we have the Five of Pentacles, the Two of Cups, and the Page of Cups. There is a softness to this person, like, especially around the eyes, is what I feel like. This is somebody that has known loneliness. With this 5 energy we keep getting, it's a conflicted energy, but it's the energy of change as well. Like, change creates, you know, or comes from conflict. So let's kind of look in their eyes, like, you know, they've been through some things, and that whatever battles they were fighting in the past, and whatever they did in the past, and whatever, you know, challenges or defensiveness that, you know, they have expressed has come at a cost. You know, it's made them feel quite lonely, but they do still look at love with hope, you know, of a connection with this Two of Cups energy, and they do still carry this tenderness, this shy sweetness about them with that Page of Cups. So they might be, I mean, a little worse for wear. They might look like, you know, even if they're younger, they might have aged a bit and look a little bit older than their age. Some of them are actually a bit older. It took them longer to kind of figure stuff out, but they've had a rough go of it. They could seem like they're a little quiet, a little reserved, or a little humbled by life, because they have been through things, and that's going to in some way be noticeable. But when they do connect with someone, when they connect with you, it's going to be deep, it's going to be magnetic. Their smile or their gaze is going to really see you. Okay, you're going to really feel connected to this person emotionally, and you're going to feel seen by them. This person could be quite youthful, like soft-spoken. There is an emotional side to them, maybe in the way that they dress, or some sort of warmth in their face, and it's like it comes out when they feel safe, when they feel good, and it also is coming out now that, you know, they've undergone this transformation, where this might have always been inside, this gentleness within them. They were not in a place, you know, where they could really actually let that side of themselves out. But with you and going forward in the future, that softer side of themselves is going to be allowed to be expressed. So this person is not going to be like super like flashy, but you are going to feel something in their presence. There's going to be something like a quiet beauty about them, and you might not even notice, you know, this tenderness in them, or this vulnerability in them. But maybe on first glance, you know, they look weathered or something, and you won't see it immediately. But it won't take you long before you can see that, because they're not going to hide it. There's going to be something in their eyes and the posture and the way that they carry themselves that's going to be endearing. And just know that when this person loves someone, it's genuine and it's on a soul level. And so it could be a little bit soft around the edges, maybe like literally. If they're a woman, they could be a bit on the curvy side. If they're a man, same thing. Little soft around the edges, not terribly angular, if you know what I mean, just a little soft around the edges. But one thing is too, this person is quite honest, and yeah. So let's look at what this person possibly does for work. Oh, cards are flying out for you, group 2. We have the Fool. We have the Three of Wands, and we have the Lovers. I love my cards. They're so beautiful. Anyway, distraction. This person could be starting fresh, possibly changing careers or taking a leap of faith soon, looking ahead, preparing for something bigger. They want something bigger, and they're willing to put themselves out there to get that. And whatever they do, it's led by a passion and real connection. This is a passionate person. They have to feel, whatever it is they're doing. So it looks like they're on some sort of new path. Maybe it's unconventional. Maybe they're self-employed, or it's like they could be breaking free from some sort of a rigid career path and doing something more on their own now. And it's about, them expanding. It could involve like travel or distance or something to that effect. But it does feel like it's gonna take time to grow. And again, this person has strong values. I feel like they were those values were warped in the past by these people. Like, just keep these people around them that were not the healthiest and did not bring out the best in this person. But some part of them that they did take away from that experience is to hold tightly to what it is they do value and what they feel is worthy of them and worthy of holding close to themselves. And in that sense, that it's important even in their career that what they do is in alignment with their values. So they could be in the healing arts, they could be in some sort of creative field, some sort of partnership type business where they're dealing with like a partner, something that it's meaningful to them. So either they're in the start of something major career change, or they're already on this path that requires a lot of courage and faith for them to pursue it. And they're not just about, making money all in and of itself. That's not their driving force. They want to build something that's meaningful. So there is a strong spiritual undertone to what they do. They have to love it. They have to feel like it aligns with their purpose. And whatever they do, it does show up in their work. So I do want to pull one more clarifying card on that, just to see like about what they do specifically, like what kind of job they work or what kind of field they're in. We got the Strength card. I am really getting like the healing arts, teaching, mentorship. Could even be like a veterinarian, vet tech, something that has to do with also ER work, trauma-informed type stuff. They influence those that they work with through their understanding and their empathy. And so whether they're doing that like as a self-employed person or whatever job that they're doing, that's how they lead. They lead through their empathy, their compassion, and their strength. And if they're not in that field yet, they're moving toward it, because that's the kind of field that they will do very well at. Something that they can disarm a situation. They're great at negotiation. They are someone that knows how to comfort others and anticipate problems and solve those problems. Like, they can see a problem coming from a mile away and they can solve those problems for people. They do it not through force, but through an inner quiet, like a quiet inner strength and a deep empathy and understanding. So let's get a message from this person's higher self, what they would say to you if they could. What would Group 2's person say to them if they could? Getting Leo vibes here. They could have that star on their chart. Don't have to. We've got the King of Wands, the Page of Pentacles, and the Page of Swords. This person wants to show up strong. They would tell you that they may come across as confident, but they're still figuring things out. They want to be somebody that's strong and steady for you, but they're learning. But they definitely care, enough to pay attention. It is a Leo flavored kind of message for sure. It's big energy. It's a humble heart. It's an observant mind. This person is passionate. They have some things to learn, especially with regard to like the practical details of life. Starting something new, perhaps, and maybe not having the most money, but having a lot of potential. They do feel like they're still learning a lot, though, especially with regard to love and how to love somebody right and to treat them the right way. And so this is somebody that is, you know, they have a lot to learn. They're waiting to understand, you know, what this relationship really is. And they're a watcher. They're going to be watchful. They're going to be observant. They're going to be a student. They approach things like a student. Okay. So, let's pull some character traits from the character trait card to get a little more information about this person, your next partner, group 2. We've got Aquarius, so the flip side of Leo. We've got Focused, and we've got Spacey Dreamy. Oh, some of you might find that this person is feeling to you like a twin flame or somebody that you see yourself in. And we have Glowed Up. So what are these cards saying in context with the rest of the cards that came out? Ooh, at the bottom of the deck we have Sexy, okay? Basically, this person is a blend of intellect. They're a blend of heart and hard-earned transformation. They're probably not going to be like anyone that you've ever dated before. This is probably not somebody that you would consider your usual type. But something about this person mirrors you, okay? This is the kind of love that feels both new and very familiar at the same time. This glowed up energy is probably referring to like the magician energy that we saw that came out after the death card, that this is someone, and it validates the change, that this is someone, you know, who became who they are today, not overnight, you know, not by accident. They really put in the effort and they have really worked on themselves hard. And this can be somebody that is a bit spacey, a bit dreamy, maybe a little bit idealistic on the outside, but really when they lock in and they focus on something, then they really go for it and they really invest like the effort and put in the work to pursue that. Okay, so when they're locked in, they're not scattered, they're very strategic. So I don't know if we got a different card or if this is where I'm going to end it here, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Hit the like button and subscribe. If you'd like a private reading like this, you can reach out to me on keen.com or email me. And I'm taking it to group 3. You can stick around for that. I'll talk to you guys next time. Welcome, group 3. So you chose the Wheel of Fortune. Wheel of Fortune. With the Wheel of Fortune, we have the Justice card and the Two of Wands. So what is this telling us? Bottom deck energy, we have the Three of Wands in reverse. So along with the Wheel of Fortune, the Justice, and the Two of Wands, what are your cards telling us? Well, For one thing, things are getting better. It may not look like it, but it's true. Because the timing is shifting with the Wheel of Fortune. But it also feels like it's something that you have to do as well. Like this isn't just going to fall into your lap, or you can't just leave it all up to fate. You can't leave everything up to fate. You know, she has a lot to do, right? Because things are it's finally time for things to be balanced, to be just. But first you have to stop standing still, stop weighing your options, you know, choose your direction. This waiting game is over, okay? This waiting game has to be over. So for whoever that's resonating with, that's what's coming through. There's a turning point here. And whatever felt stuck, you know, it's not going to be stuck anymore, but it's your move. Like you have to do something. You have to take action. There's no more passive planning. There's no more, you know, sitting here trying to pick a path. It's about, you know, you've waited long enough. It's not about what's coming anymore. It's about what you are choosing. So basically what this is saying, group three, is that the universe is lining up an opportunity in love, but it's not going to chase you. You're being called to show up and step forward and meet your destiny at least halfway. Okay. It's an interesting message to start with. So let's look at who this partner is that's waiting on the other side of this shift. Because that's what you're here for, right? So who is this next partner? We have the Three of Cups. Excuse me. The Eight of Cups. And the Page of Swords. Well, this is somebody that has had their share of fun, okay? Some social energy here, light connections. But it looks like they're walking away from that lifestyle because it's no longer fulfilling for them. They're disillusioned, disenchanted by that, and they want something more fulfilling. And so they're just kind of watching, they're learning, trying to, you know, look for something more real with this Page of Swords. This could be somebody that you know, if this resonates, from a social setting. But either way, this is somebody that, you know, might have been on the dating apps or dated quite a bit or just like to have fun. But again, you can see her face. It's no longer satisfying. It's surface level. So, but even though they know that, well, they've been disillusioned by what they were doing. So now they're kind of being observant, maybe a little defensive and cautious as they learn, you know, what does it look like to do something that will bring me that deeper level of happiness that I'm looking for? What does that look like? What does that mean? And what do I do to get there? So your next partner is likely someone who's, you know, just walking away from the shallow connections. They're not here for games. They're curious. They're careful. They're paying attention. You know, they don't want to miss when something real actually finally shows up. So that's what they're looking like. They're kind of like a little bit on the edge of their seat, okay, kind of just ready, and they're looking. And so for something real though. So let's look at what they might look like. What might Group 3's person look like? We've got the Two of Cups. We've got the King of Pentacles. And we have the Fool. Well, I think this person looks like they're quite attractive, right? There's the attraction, the feeling is going to be mutual. with this King of Pentacles energy, they do have a grounded, dependable energy about them. But there's also something that's fresh and surprising, like, you know, someone who's both stable and lighthearted both. So, you know, two parts of that. And it's just going to feel like when you meet them, you know, you're going to feel it in your body. It's going to be an instant sense of connection where their energy just hits differently. So it's less about maybe what this person actually looks like in terms of like their specific hair and eye color or whatnot. It's about the way that they are going to make you feel. It's going to feel different. There's going to be chemistry. There's going to be a sense of, wait, you know, have we met before kind of thing. Like, do I know you kind of thing. And it's something that you're both going to feel immediately. This person, you know, in terms of their physical appearance, they could be older, look older, more mature, well kept. They could give provider vibes. There's a strong presence with them. They could be well dressed. Maybe they look like success, like they have money or they've done well for themselves materially. They're not shabby, okay? Not getting that. They, but they're not like stiff and stuffy kind of thing. We associate the King of Coins with like the retired banker. I've heard him described as, but in this case, it's, you know, less about that and more about that this person also has something boyish or girlish, depending on who you're for. Something youthful, adventurous about them, maybe a little unexpected or quirky. There's some sort of style or aura about them that's confident, but also very playful. So it's basically their energy is what you're going to see. It's solid energy, sincere, a little hint of something unpredictable there. But they also give out this energy of being safe, but also being, you know, like exciting. I'm getting Capricorn vibes too. Could have that strong in their chart, don't have to, but they do feel like, I feel like, you know, you're going to recognize them not just by how they look, but how your nervous system feels around them. Your nervous system's going to feel calm around them. You know, it's not going to be one of those situations where you're feeling a lot of butterflies. And some of you, my regulars, might know, you know, that I've referred to that as being like more of a red flag. I know that in the movies and stuff, it's always said that, oh, I feel butterflies. That's such a great sign and everything. It's like, it's a great sign if, you know, you aren't trying to be too serious, or you want to be in for kind of a bumpy ride and that's your idea of fun, because that true soulmate usually feels good to your nervous system. And I feel like this person is going to feel good to your nervous system, and you're going to feel curious about them as well. You're going to feel calm, but, you know, not bored. You're going to feel curious about them, that they're going to spark something, you know, within you. So, what will this person do for a living? We've got the Page of Cups. We have the Six of Swords. And we have the Nine of Pentacles. I just feel like this person, they put their heart into whatever they do. It's like they blend their heart and healing. They could be in like a healthcare profession. They definitely help others. I'm getting social worker vibes for an odd few of you with the Ten of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck, helping families. Also, it could mean that their job is taking care of their family in some respect. But they do help people transition. Like that's a social worker vibe, escaping bad situations, getting like law enforcement too. Again, it's a specific message, not for all of you, general reading, but that's what I'm getting as well. Bottom line is that they help others emotionally, mentally, even physically. They're not just working for a paycheck. This is kind of giving me the energy of a previous group. This person is, you know, using their gifts to create peace. We saw that banker energy with that King of Pentacles. However, this person has achieved a certain level of status or security in their life, they've done it through something heart-centered. The work that they're doing is heart-centered for them. They're not just working for a paycheck. They're using their gifts to create peace. And so it's like they've built or are building a stable and sufficient life around these kind of ideals, and it's working. because we saw, again, the King of Pentacles, and we have the Nine of Pentacles here as well. So that's financial abundance. Interesting. And I think I mentioned getting timing, and I don't think I got timing for when you might meet this person for groups 1 and 2, because that's just not, like, I can set my intention to do a certain thing in a reading, but if it takes us in another direction, then I kind of just have to go with it. I find it works out better that way, because then the messages that are really meant to be heard can be heard. But I will get a message from this person's higher self, what they'd like you to know right now, if they could tell you. So the cards we have for that are the Six of Cups, Temperance, and the Eight of Pentacles. There's that familiarity thing that I talked about earlier that's coming through again with that Six of Cups. It's like they would say that they've known a love like this before, because you're going to feel familiar and like home to them. And for that reason, it's like they're not going to be rushing. This is going to take its time. When they show up, it's going to be real. It's going to be grounded. It's going to be worth building in and investing in. The Eight of Pentacles is kind of the unsung hero of tarot cards when it comes to the subject of romance, because it really is about somebody putting in the daily effort and work to really focus on something and dedicate themselves to someone and to a relationship that they're building. This person, whether you know them or not, and some of you might know this person, we can clarify, you know, the percentage likelihood that for the majority of you, this is somebody from your past maybe that you end up with in the long run, because these Six of Cups, Temperance can both talk about that. Together they really talk about that, but not for everybody. But you will feel connected to this person, like there is a soul recognition. You already are connected on a soul level to this person. That's what they would say. That's how they feel. They feel like they've dreamed about you. Don't be surprised if when you meet this person, they mention that they had a dream about somebody and that somebody resembles you, or in some way that you remind them of their dream. And this person is working on healing. Again, I feel like they do something in the healing arts, or there's some element of that in what they do. Caretaking of some kind, something to that extent, whatever they do. But on a personal level, they're becoming somebody that's more steady, somebody that's not chaotic, but somebody that's careful. And whatever they do have to offer you, it's not going to be flaky or fleeting. It's going to be tangible. It's going to be meaningful. It's going to be solid. So their higher self is very much tuned into you, recognizes this as something more than attraction. And it does feel like this has some sort of past life or alternate life reality kind of vibe to it, like there's some sort of link here. And they feel like, you know, they're going to take their time when this happens, because, you know, they want to be a whole person when they come in, not a half person, they don't want to participate in a codependent relationship or, you know, anything like that. They're wanting to be a whole and complete person, which speaks to their maturity level, which is a good thing. And so when they do that, you will know, because, you know, they won't just say the right things. They're going to build something with you. They're going to show you through their actual actions. Like they're going to really dedicate themselves to this. So let's get some cards from the traits deck. And if this reading is resonating, please hit the like button. It supports the channel. From the traits deck, let's see what comes out to describe this person a little bit more. We have has enemies. That's interesting. We didn't really pick up on anything like that so far. Of course, we weren't asking about such things, but for whatever reason, that's wanting to be known. And we also have polite and winning at life. With that King of Pentacles energy, we did see that this person probably does quite well for themselves. Maybe that enemies card is talking about, you know, haters. In the context of the rest of the reading, what is that enemies card likely saying about this person? This person does, like I said, they do come across as successful, grounded, emotionally evolved. And that didn't just happen by itself. Like, they earned that. It came with friction, and they probably will talk about, like, in their past, the things that they've been through, the people that, you know, they fell out with in their past. That's what this enemy's energy feels like. It's kind of like past things that happened in their past. They've outgrown people, or they trigger other people simply by being themselves, by doing well, by staying kind, by being polite, by winning at life. These are all things that people can envy. So there is some resentment towards this person for that reason, but they handle it with grace. I'm getting very mature vibes from this person. They could be an evolved Sagittarius as well, because it is this kind of seeing the big picture and not letting it bother you kind of thing. And you know, even when people test them, they still will be respectful. And this is good because it's what's helping them to win at life. And when you're winning at life, you know, you become somebody who wins at life because you're not stopping to throw rocks at every dog that barks at you, right? You would never get anywhere if you did that. And this person's learned that lesson, and it's paid off for them financially, emotionally, spiritually. Not everyone likes that though. So this person doesn't come in, you know, with chaos, but just know that, you know, their success in their evolution has ruffled some feathers, their boundaries ruffles feathers, and it's not a red flag. It is just a sign of someone who's leveled up and someone who has outgrown, like, their old circle. Okay, so not everybody outgrows the people that they grew up with or people that, you know, they've had in their life for a long time. And not everybody can do that. Not everybody, you know, wants to do that. But sometimes it benefits a person to do that. Sometimes you will see that, and that's what this person has done. And yet it's not because, you know, it's not a red flag. They're still polite, they're still steady, they're doing their inner and outer work. And even though that creates tension with people who haven't done theirs, that doesn't mean that this person's doing anything wrong, because they're not. Okay, so let's get a timing card for you, group 3. I didn't get a timing card for the previous groups. It didn't work out that way, but for you, group 3, we're getting a timing card as to when you're likely to meet this person. Also, I wanted to pull a clarifying card for the 6 of Cups and the Temperance, which can indicate somebody from the past who you eventually end up with. Is this somebody from the past? For the majority of the viewers who are watching. And we have a card that fell out. That's the 9 of Swords. And why not pull another one? The Strength card. And the 5 of Wands. For some of you, yeah, and you already know that probably, that this is somebody from your past. This could be somebody that you already know, but not somebody casual or anything like that. This would be somebody that you really almost had something real with, but it never quite got off the ground kind of person. And so it feels like things are unfinished. Not that things are being recycled, but things are unfinished. And on a soul level, this connection remains, and there's still some pain, but it's led to growth here. And so overall, regardless if you know this person or not, it does look like you will see signs of this coming together. It's not going to be fast because this is slow and solid energy. So coming together in Leo season, perhaps late July into August, within like 5 to 8 months, depending on, you know, your individual timelines. As of now, that's what's coming through. You know, timing can be fluid, but for most of you, that's the 5 to 8 month mark. Now, because I do this for my private clients, I am going to get you a percentage likelihood that this is somebody from your past for the majority of viewers. Like what, or rather, let's say, since I'm doing a collective reading, for the viewers who are watching, who are resonating with this reading, what percentage is it that this is somebody from their past coming back? For that, we have the 4 of Cups, the Knight of Coins, and the Queen of Coins. it's over half. For over half of you that chose this group who are resonating with this, it's about 60 to 70% chance that this is someone from the past, not necessarily a full-blown ex, but someone where the connection never quite happened. It's kind of like a missed opportunity type deal, a missed moment that may now align because of the growth and the timing coming to fruition. You both matured. This could have been someone that you waited on or felt like you were emotionally let down by, and it's been extremely slow. Even though they did have good intentions, it just didn't manifest at the time. In the meantime, you've matured and stepped into your worth, and it's like now they're circling back because they see it, and they really see it. They're able to see it now. Anyway, that's what I've got for you guys. Thank you for tuning in. Appreciate you. If you'd like a private reading, my information is down below. Check me out on Keen.com or email me. Donate to the channel. Keep it going. Buy me a cup of coffee. Link for that is down below. But either way, I'll talk to you guys next time.